Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to Idioms Insight.
Today, we're doing something a bit different. We're going right for the jugular of English grammar.
We are. This is a structural mission. Think of it as a shortcut.
A shortcut, exactly.
Yeah.
Because we're not talking about vocabulary lists. We're talking about the 3 core verbs that basically act as the scaffolding for everything else.
And that's not just a metaphor. It's almost mathematical. I mean, the 3 verbs we're focusing on today, to be, to have, and to want, they show up in, 70 to 80% of all spoken and written English.
70 to 80%. That's an incredible number.
It is. It means if you get these right, you've essentially solved the biggest piece of the puzzle.
So for you listening, if you can really nail the uses, the contractions, and maybe most importantly, the common mistakes with these 3, then the rest of English grammar starts to feel a whole lot simpler.
Absolutely. And that's our goal today, not just to list forms, but to get into the context. When do you use them? And critically, when do you not use them? Avoiding the big errors is probably the fastest way to sound more fluent.
Okay, let's do it. Let's start with the big one. The undisputed champion of English verbs, to be.
Right. It's the most powerful, the most versatile, and frankly, the most irregular of the 3. It's tricky.
It's tricky because it's not really about action, is it? It's about existence.
Exactly. It's the bridge. It connects a subject to what it is. And to really master it, you need to see that it's doing basically 7 different jobs in the language.
7 jobs for one little verb. Okay, break it down for us. What is all the heavy lifting to be is doing?
Well, first, there's identity, who someone is. Second, description, what something looks like or feels like. Third is location, where stuff is.
Okay, identity, description, location. Got it.
Then you have age. And number 5, time and weather, like saying, it's really cold today. 6 is for feelings and states. And finally, 7, jobs and nationalities. I'm a doctor, or I'm from Lucknow.
That list really shows you just how foundational it is. It's how you define yourself and the world around you.
It is.
So let's get into the forms. The present tense, specifically the contractions, because that's what people actually say.
The full forms are simple enough. I am, you are, he is, and so on. But you're right, nobody talks like that.
No, it sounds robotic.
Yeah.
So it just gets crushed down into I'm, a short, quick sound.
Right. And you are becomes your.
And this one's important. It sounds just like the possessive your, but in speech it's often even shorter, a bit swallowed.
Mm-hmm. Then you have he is, she is, it is. They all become he's, she's, it's. And that little as on the end should have a light ziz sound.
Yeah, not a hard des, more of a buzz. He's, she's, it's.
And just hearing those sounds, being able to recognize them, helps you understand fast speech so much better. They're going into the store is what you'll hear, not they are going.
Okay, now for what I think is the most important part of this segment. Let's fix the biggest, most common mistake that learners make with to be.
Oh, this is a huge one. It's adding to be where it just doesn't belong.
Right. The tendency to use it as a kind of universal connector word.
Yes. And the rule is this. You absolutely cannot use to be with simple action verbs, especially verbs that describe an opinion or a state, like agree, like want or have.
Okay, hang on. Let's pause there because I want to get into why. For a learner, saying, I am agree with you feels logical. Mm-hmm. They're describing their state, right? The state of being in agreement. I am hungry is correct. So why isn't I am agree?
That's a fantastic question. It really gets to the heart of English grammar. It's about the difference between a state and an action. When you say I am hungry, you're connecting I to an adjective hungry. It's a description.
Okay.
But when you say I agree, the word agree is already a full working verb. It's the action. Adding am is like putting 2 verbs where you only need 1. English just sees it as redundant.
So agree does the job all by itself. It doesn't need a helper.
Exactly. The fix is always just to say, I agree with you.
That makes so much sense when you frame it that way. Give us another common one.
Preferences, you hear this a lot. The movies, like very much, again, like is your action verb. So the sentence should just be direct. I like the movie very much.
And the classic weather example. Today is rain.
Yeah, that structure is broken. Yeah. You have to use a different pattern for weather. Either it is raining today or you use the adjective it's rainy today.
So the golden rule, the big takeaway here is if your sentence already has a simple action verb like agree, like, or want, you do not add am, is, or are.
Nail that one rule and your fluency takes a huge leap forward.
Okay, so if to be is about identity and state, let's move to our second foundation stone, the verb of possession and relationship. to have.
A great transition. To have is all about what's connected to you.
It's another workhorse verb. So what are its main jobs?
Well, the most obvious one is possession. I have 2 phones. Simple. Second, it's for family and relationships. I have 1 sister.
Right.
Third, and this is a key one that's different in many languages, we use it for meals and drinks. We don't eat breakfast, we have breakfast.
Yeah, and we also use it for experiences, right?
Yeah.
You don't make fun, you have fun. Or you have a headache or have a good time.
Exactly. And also for things like having a shower or a bath. And then, of course, a bit more advanced, you need it for all the perfect tenses, like I have eaten. It's incredibly versatile.
The good news is the forms are way easier than to be.
Oh, much easier. There's just one split you need to remember. For I, you, we, and they, you use have.
And for he, she, and it,
You use has.
that's it. That's the only change. But you have to get it right. She has beautiful eyes. If you say she have, it's an immediate giveaway.
It is. Now, there's one spoken English detail we really have to cover here. The casual use of have got.
Ah, yes, got. You hear this everywhere. He's got a new car or she's got 2 brothers.
Right. And he's got is just a very common informal contraction of he has got. It means the exact same thing as he has.
It just sounds more conversational, more dynamic.
It does. I've got 10 minutes sounds more natural in a conversation than I have 10 minutes. Recognizing that got or is got just means have or has is huge for listening comprehension.
And before we leave to have, we should mention, it's at the heart of so many friendly, polite phrases. Have a nice day.
Have a great weekend.
Let's have lunch together. It's a very social verb.
It really is. Which brings us to our third and final stone. To want. This one is all about desire, intention, and need.
And again, thankfully, the forms are really regular. I, you, we, they, want.
And he, she, it wants. That's it.
But the grammar rule that comes after it is where the real challenge is.
Yes, this is non-negotiable. If you're using want to talk about an action, there's one little word you absolutely cannot forget.
The magic pattern. Want. Plus to plus infinitive.
That's the one. That little to is the structural glue that connects your desire to the action. We want to visit Manali. She wants to become a teacher.
Saying we want visit is probably one of the most common structural errors.
It is. You have to have that too.
And let's quickly hit the other big mistake with want, the continuous form.
Right. Want is a state verb, like love or know. It describes a state of mind, not a physical action you can see happening, so you almost never use it in the continuous form.
You would never say, I am wanting a coffee.
Never. It sounds very unnatural. You just keep it simple and direct. I want a coffee, or he wants a new job.
Now, speaking of coffee, using I want in a shop or a restaurant can come across as a little abrupt, a little demanding.
It can, yeah. So for those situations, you need the polite upgrade.
Which is I'd like, the contraction of I would like.
Exactly. It just softens the whole request. It makes it conditional and much more polite.
It's a massive difference in tone. It's the difference between I want a cold coffee and I'd like a cold coffee, please.
You always choose I'd like in those service situations. We'd like to book a table for 4. It's essential for social fluency.
So when you put all 3 together,
Yeah.
you get a kind of functional triangle. To be is your identity.
To have is your possessions and experiences.
And to want is your intention and your desires.
That's a perfect summary.
Okay, let's put this into practice. A quick-fire correction round. We'll give you a sentence with a common error, and you at home can try to fix it before we do.
I like it. Ready. Example 1, mixing up tense and to be. I am 25 years old last month.
Okay, the am is present tense, but last month is past tense. They don't match. You have to say either I am 25 years old for the present.
Or I turned 25 last month for the past.
Exactly. Okay, number 2, the classic have versus has mistake.
Yeah.
You have a very good job.
Third person singular. The correction has to be she has a very good job.
Simple but critical. Okay, example 3, the missing link after want. We want go to cinema tonight.
You're missing that structural glue. It should be we want to go to the cinema tonight.
Always need that too. Now for a tricky one, number 4. This one mixes to be and to have incorrectly. He is happy because he has have new phone.
Ooh, okay, let's break this down. The first part, he is happy, that's perfect. Using to be to describe a feeling or state.
Right.
But the second part describes possession. He possesses a phone, so you have to switch verbs. The correct sentence is, he is happy because he has a new phone.
You can't say is have. That's the key.
Yeah.
One verb describes the state, the other describes the possession.
Nailing that distinction is where this knowledge really starts to pay off.
Okay, final one. combining the polite form with the wrong verb structure. I'd like to know more about this course.
Close, but I'd like to must be followed by the simple base verb, the infinitive. So it's, I'd like to know more about this course.
Perfect. So if you followed along with those, you're in a fantastic position. You've basically got a handle on the entire scaffolding of everyday English.
Let's do a super quick final recap, the golden rules.
Go for it.
First, to be, amisar. It's for states, identity, location, feelings. The Goldie rule is what not to do. Never use it with like agree, want, or have.
Next, to have as. That's for possession, family, meals, experiences. And the key is that he shite always takes has.
And finally, to wants. For desires and plans. And it always requires to plus a verb. And remember, no wanting.
And don't forget the social secret weapon, swap I want for I'd like. Getting just those 3 verbs right is the single biggest jump you can make.
It is. And once you have this foundation, it naturally leads you to the next level of thinking about grammar.
Exactly. Which brings us to our final provocative thought for you to take away. We've talked about the forms, but now we have to think about their application. So the question is, what is the crucial difference in meaning between saying I go to the office
versus saying I am going to the office?
Understanding the change, the simple tense versus the continuous tense, is the next step. It's how you take this foundational knowledge and really start to build something special with it.
That's the challenge. Keep listening, keep noticing. You've got this.